allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Get right up.
It's.
There it is, right here. How are you? Thanks, we talked about. As a legislative authority in Asheville, we impact the lives of families, businesses, and schools. With such a weighted responsibility, we believe it is wholly appropriate to petition for help from a higher authority, and the discussion reflection dispensing of our duties as council members. Moment of silence. Maybe be seated. Roll call. Chad?
Present.
Roger? Present. Dave? Here. Matt?
Present.
Colton? Here. And Randy's excused on vacation. I have a motion to approve the April 18th, 2024 regular session.
March 18th.
Or March,
Can
yeah.
I bring up a point here?
Yes.
The last paragraph, I thought Matt was saying how that the village might want to get into some kind of a rotation of replacing vehicles, not to replace two vehicles now.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do I have a second for that with the amendment?
Second.
Votes?
Yes. Yes.
I don't have a whole lot. I'll wait till the second half to bring it up. April, do you have anything?
Yeah, I do. I have a then and now to Aqua Science for, I think it was a polymer maybe, for the sewer plant in the amount of $6,072.92.
No motion.
Make motion to approve it.
Second.
Second.
Vote?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Chief George?
My one officer turned in his 2 weeks notice today, so he'll be leaving in 2 weeks. Our prospect we had from Columbus Police went to another agency Friday. So right now we have no prospects for the police department. So our dirt pile was moved, and they finally moved their backhoe today too, so the lot's completely clear now. That's all.
No, everything's good.
Do a report from Samantha or anything? Greg?
First street sweeping will be April 23rd, 24th, and 25th. Rain date of the 26th. They had to add an extra day in to each sweeping because of the growth. And Franklin has slides of the dugouts on the east side, and they are finished.
Look great.
Look
good.
Looks very good. Good job.
Street sweeping was when again, I'm sorry? Street sweeping was when?
23rd, 24th, 25th, with the rain date of the 26th.
Thank you.
Please move your vehicles.
Anything else, Greg?
That's it.
Jim Bob?
The only thing I've got today, we discovered an issue down at the well field, and there was, on the old well, there was a line that had busted. And so we are running off our backup wells right now, and National Water will be in tomorrow with all the parts to get us back up and running. And as far as the new well, electric company is slated to turn the power on to that on the 15th of this month.
Anything else?
Can that be, if there was a way to get that done sooner, would that be helpful?
Yes, it would be extremely helpful.
I'll call David Glass at South Central Power and see if we can have that.
Because right now, that's the only thing we're waiting on is we gotta have power there to fire everything up.
Has that well been tested and approved by the EPA? You've got all your bacteria tests and everything done? How long ago was that?
The first of this year.
How long were they good for without using water? Just set and stagnant?
I mean, I can run another set, that's not a big deal.
Anything else, Jim Bob?
Nope.
No, I'm good.
Franklin?
Okay, you have a written report in front of you, and I'll get through this quickly. Okay, the good thing, we met with a Tom Perry from CDC of Columbus, involving the CDBG grant. As I indicated earlier, we were trying to get $35,000 per project, the Randolph Street and the West Side Park. After the walkthrough, we're now in the position where we will be getting potentially $470,000 for Randolph Street instead of 35. And it's possible if we hold off a year that we would be eligible for $700,000 for the West Side Park through the CDBG grant process. So it was a very fruitful meeting with, again, Mr. Perry from CDC of Columbus. This Friday, there is a meeting with Molly Gwynn, Brian, involving Rhonda Homes and some discussions about potential development agreement. Again, the eclipse is coming, and the only cautionary thing is transportation. That's going to be the big impact, I think, in Pickwick County. I'm not sure we're going to be the destination. We may be the pass through to a destination. So everyone needs to be aware of that for April 8th. And
Everybody else is canceled, then should we cancel next week?
well, I mean, that's up to you, but that's all I have.
Okay.
It's gonna be school too.
I know.
Committee reports real quick. Anybody have any committee reports?
Yep. Utility meeting, we just had one prior to this meeting. Bert and Jim Bob, please fill in the blanks, okay? So, in the village, we have a 50% water loss and don't know where it's coming from. Roughly 6 million to 8 million, is that what it was, gallons? Novelis is one of those that is a possible big user. There's some apartment complexes that have been built for zero usage. We're trying to figure out where it's coming from. But as of 2023, July of 23, we were good. We were pretty spot on.
Last year we had some months where we was, but then it went right back to where it was again.
But we was good.
So before that and after that. Correct.
Yep. So 2 years of non-billing for Prairie View Apartments, for an example. Possibly 2 years. Could be a computer issue, could be a Neptune issue, could be clerical error, whatever it is. We gotta figure it out. We have to find out where it's coming from. We gotta start checking boxes off somewhere, right? Chad, was there anything else that I'm missing major?
No, one of the things we did talk about, and I was unaware until then, the meter for Alaris or
Yes.
Novelis or whatever it's called today, is all the way back at the beginning of really their property. Jim and Bert think it needs to be out the front. I guess we've had 3 water main breaks out there and lost huge amounts of water that we've fixed.
Didn't hit their meter, right?
So if we,
And on top of it, it's a private line, it's their line, right? Is that
They
correct?
should be able to, they should be out ahead.
And we fixed it 3 times.
so if we move that all the way out, one, I guarantee you they call us when they have a break. Or at least they notify us of what's going on. And 2, I think it takes a big check mark off of, is that when we're losing some water? I think everyone agrees they're not losing 250,000 gallons of water. But they're our biggest user of water, so I don't know why we just don't start there.
In the long term of things, it's gonna be
You know,
better for us.
Exactly, so, you know, we asked them to get a cost and a timeline on how quick we can do that, and get that done. We feel as a utility committee, it's a pretty big, it's an important thing to start checking boxes off to find out where it's a 50% loss. I mean, I don't know how much money that is, but I'm gonna assume it's more than
It's a lot.
pocket change,
Yes.
so. That was one of the big things that came out. We have a couple, apartment complexes has a zero usage for a while.
Yep.
Suspicious, but I think they're gonna start investigating that tomorrow, so.
Their guys are gonna drain it and look at the meter,
Yeah.
get actual reading.
So, I mean,
From
we'll,
Prairie View, right? That's where it was, Prairie View, yep.
and then the kind of sidebar discussion we had was, those guys, they obviously know what they're doing. I mean, they need to have some latitude to go out and get things done, and not wait for blessings from anybody else. They need this,
Yeah.
I would love it if they were coming with, to the meetings with solutions, of what they've done and what they plan on doing moving forward, since they're the experts in that field, so.
And we need to possibly mitigate some resources for them, manpower wise, whether it's a street guy or whoever, but this is kind of a priority thing in my book, I think, right? You gotta figure out what's going on.
I kind of have the philosophy that these guys are all one big team and we can work together the way
Yeah.
we need to,
Yep.
so.
So, I mean, that's the way it needs to be.
We need to really load in on this, so. Anything from you guys, any other?
Well, get her started and get you some numbers and go with it.
Anything else, Matt?
Nope, that's it. All right.
Any other reports? We have 4 pieces of legislation, 2 resolutions, 2 ordinances for first reading tonight. We'll start with resolution 04-2024. It's a resolution for the Smart Growth Initiative Fund. Do I have a motion for first reading? Second?
Second.
Vote?
Yes, yes.
It's resolution 04-2024, a resolution authorizing the village administrator and fiscal officer to submit proposals, applications for the Smart Growth Initiative Fund through the Pickaway County Community Foundation. First reading. No motion for,
You want this expedited, or?
Yes, if it's
that
possible,
this
that way I can submit the
Is that
correct
this
proposal.
expedited? Make a motion, we set the first reading, suspend the rules of council, by waiving the second and third reading, adopt the resolution emergency measure.
second?
So moved.
Vote?
Yes.
Yes.
Our resolution, this is resolution 05-2024, expenditure of $5,000 for the Seed of Northgate plan update. We met with CETA and they hired a couple companies going to do it. There's a $100,000. They're going to get a grant. P3 is going to put a certain amount of money in, and each municipality and township is going to provide $5,000. So this is our share of that. So, the motion for the first reading.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Resolution 05-2024, resolution authorizing the expenditure of $5,000 towards the Seed of Northgate Alliance Strategic Plan Use Plan Update. First reading.
Need it? Want it?
It would be nice to go ahead.
I make a motion, we accept the first reading, suspend the rules of council, waiving the second and third reading, adopt the resolution as an emergency measure.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Vote?
Aye.
Yes.
Okay, a couple ordinances. Ordinance 2024, and this is an ordinance to establish a utility service superintendent. Have a motion for first reading.
Move.
Second.
Second.
I'll second the motion. Thank you.
Matt and Chad, vote.
Yes.
Yes.
This ordinance 2024-06, an ordinance to establish the position of utility service superintendent for the village of Ashville, declaring an emergency.
Do we have guidelines for the pay ordinance?
And the pay ordinance.
For that position,
You have to establish
it's the next
position.
ordinance.
Oh,
I would go over that.
We have to establish this first.
that,
Okay.
Yes,
Okay, I'll make a motion to accept the first reading of ordinance 2024-06, suspend the rules of council by waiving the second and third readings, adopt the ordinance as an emergency measure.
I do have a second. Vote?
Yes.
Yeah. Get rid of this.
Okay, and the next one is the three supervisors. What we did, we leveled their payout, their top payout. So it'd be the police chief, April, and Jim Bob. So this is the ordinance doing that. There'll be another ordinance coming later for the inspector, but we're still working with Chris on that, so.
Okay, move for second, first reading.
Second. Vote?
Yes.
A lot of numbers here.
20.
Ordinance
Start reading there.
24-07, an ordinance to amend 2003-11, 2006-02, 2006-08, 2009-09, 2009-20, 2013-02, 2013-05, 2014-05, 2016-06, 2017-05, 2019-01, 2019-09, 2019-18, 2020-02, 2020-12, 2022-14, and 2022-22 to reflect changes in the Village of Asheville pay ordinance. This ordinance designates certain village employment positions as hourly positions and salaried, establish minimum and maximum salaries and rates compensation for such persons employed in such positions, and to declare an emergency. I'd like to know if you would pass that as an emergency, or I'll
Like,
read it again.
You have to read it. I'll make a motion to accept the first reading of ordinance 2024-07, suspend the rules of council by waiving the second and third reading, adopting the ordinance as an emergency measure.
Have a second.
Second.
Vote?
Yep.
Yes.
Who was the second? I'm sorry.
Chad.
I thought it was,
No, it's Rod.
it was Rod.
I love you.
The old business. We have one item for new business. The tax administrator has submitted her resignations for April 15th, so we'll have to look at tax administrator's positions.
Do those positions have job descriptions?
Yes. I can get those for you if you'd like.
Yeah, if you just want to email them, that'd be great. Thank you.
Mhm.
They're on our website, it's in the link.
Okay. I'll just look at them on the website. No need.
Okay.
We will do
I feel like I need to cruise the website.
with April, we can decide, because we'll need to advertise it probably, won't we, or where do we have?
I don't think we have to.
I know I've got one application on my desk, but,
Oh, okay.
and I'll give it to you so you can have it. You can look it up.
I've had a few people
Yeah.
reach out.
I'd like to make a motion to request an executive session to discuss current legal issues pertaining to utilities.
Go to second.
Take it.
Order. Any discussion from the executive session?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion that gives Bert and Jim Bob full and complete control to come up with a plan to address the staggering difference between what our village produces and what we build in terms of water.
Second.
Second. Vote?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Pass. For me, real quick, we had a meeting with Mike Sharon, emergency management on the cybersecurity, like a follow-up meeting, so we did get a chance to talk to him. I attended a couple meetings in Circle Boat with Rotary. One was with CODA, and they did start a line that goes down to Miller Avenue, pick people up, take them to Rickenbacker, and then there's one in the morning, one in the afternoon, and then Morpsey give a talk on the area, and they give their 2050 plan to talk to them about that. So other than that, any council comments?
No.
Chad?
No.
Roger?
I want to thank Greg and his staff for what you guys did in the park.
Thank you.
We're making progress there.
Yeah, looks good.
Looks really nice. We have a meeting the 15th.
I just want to put on the record, we did, Colton was there on Saturday, we did the Kiwanis Easter egg hunt for the 63rd year. And, some years are better than others, and it rains sometimes, it was a little wet and everything, we had a really good time. But I don't ever want the village to ever think that we take that village park for granted. Kiwanis uses it, the community club uses it, the Viking Fest uses it. It is a tremendous resource in a public setting. Some people don't want to go to a business for Easter egg hunt, or they don't want to go to a church for Easter egg hunt. They come to Asheville, they come right downtown. It's at the park, it's run by the Kiwanis since 1961. So I want to thank the village for that, thank Colton for helping me out, and it's a good thing. It's a great thing. Everybody has, so thank you, that's all I got.
Matt?
Yep, I just want to clarify the truck situation that Roger brought up for the minutes. And Chad probably knows more about this. I'm in fire service. We rotate trucks on a 5-year basis, on a 5-year plan. We probably need to look into something for the village for utility trucks. And ones that can be used, not SUVs, not cars. I mean trucks that are going to be able to be managed, right? Manage our issues. But if Chad probably knows more, because
Yeah, I mean, there again, I think it comes back to those that you tell us what you need.
yeah,
Mileage isn't really the whole story of everything that goes on. I mean, we know traveling in town, the short distances are probably harder on them than idling more than anything. But I think you guys need to come up with what you have now, what you need, and when you think you'll need it. So that stuff can be done, especially with April trying to figure out, something new added to her line item, so.
yeah.
They're getting.
Especially over there.
I've been looking for a crane truck,
Yep.
kind of a use
Yep.
between the sewer and the street
Yep.
department. There's I'd like to build a building out at the street department, because all them trucks and all that equipment sits outside.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
think that's kind of crazy, spend all that money and just let it sit outside. And there's a building at his place that's been there for 6 years. They don't have concrete floor in it, and when it rains, water runs in it and it gets muddy, so you really can't use it. So it's a really nice 60x42 barn.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I've got one bid already. A guy come today to look and give me a second bid, as far as putting concrete floors in them. It just, I don't know. I see a lot of stuff
I'm gonna,
wasted, and I'm just trying to, that's kind of some stuff that's gonna be coming down the road that I'll be bringing up to you guys.
and I'll say, please don't hesitate to ask us, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's stuff we gotta work in, and if it's over a few years, it's over a few years. But at least it puts it on our radar, like
Right.
we don't know what we don't know, right?
Right.
I didn't know about that barn, I mean, that could be a good
It's
asset
a
for
nice
anybody.
barn. Yeah, and it just sits there with junk in it. I mean,
Right, that's stuff we need to know,
and it's, we got this truck sitting outside in an empty barn, so
yeah,
it's
yeah,
not okay.
Yep.
that's all.
Just, back to it is, I work, we all have our professional lives outside of this, so I appreciate everybody giving me a little grace as I was basically not around and all over across the state, but, I think that here locally, I mean, we're gonna have the same sheriff, we're gonna have a new judge, there's gonna be a new prosecutor, there's gonna be a new treasurer, there's gonna be a new recorder, there's going to be a new, I'm thinking of 1 or 2 here that I'm not, but there's just gonna be a lot of new faces involved in county politics, so I think we all need to do a good job of, the voters have spoken, there's not general election of any consequence that I can really think of. These are the players on the current chessboard, we need to work with them, and we need to figure out how we can help them as they make their transition. Because, these are all weighty responsibilities, and yes, we're Asheville, but we're part of Pickaway County, and we gotta make sure everybody's working together the best way that we can. And that's kind of my note, but appreciate everybody. I should not be traveling the state in the way I was until probably September, October, and November. And I'll appreciate that same grace of sometimes I'm in this meeting or two, and that's just how it works.
Any comments from
Also, did you tell everybody that South Bloomfield council voted to allow us to have water and?
Said something today.
Okay. But they're working up the rates and stuff, but their council voted for us to be able to hook in, or we're already hooked in, but to give us supplemental water as we need it, so.
Phenomenal news, working together.
Yeah.
Anything else? Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Yes.